Piece Podcast, episode 660 for the week of Sunday, February 21st, 2021. My name is Zach.
And my name is Ed.
My name is Steve.
And my name is Alex.
Hi, Alex. On today's show, we have a very special guest. He's the translator for One Piece and Weekly Shonen Jump and Manga Plus. We have Stephen Paul with us. How's it going, Stephen?
It's going all right.
That's good to hear. That's all right to hear. That's all right. We also have one of our contributors, Joe, is with us. How's it going, Joe?
Been pretty good. I'm glad to have power back.
Yeah. Joe is also our Discord moderator. Forgot to mention that. Joe is in Texas, so I should ask, how are you doing?
I'm doing a lot better now.
That's good to hear. So we'll post some links because I know, Joe, you sent us some charitable causes that people could help out, since it's been kind of insane over there if you haven't been following it. Yeah. But I'm glad it's like 70 degrees now, right? Instead of negative 20 degrees Fahrenheit.
Last I checked, it was 50, and it's gonna be like in the 50s all day.
Okay. 50s aren't all that bad. Yeah.
Better than 10.
Yes. Which is, what is that, Celsius? Negative 10? I don't know. Anyway, so we're doing a lot today. Stephen, what's the main thing that we're doing on today's show?
We will be covering the SBS and other bonus materials from volume 98, Vassals of Glory. I think, that's mostly the episode.
Yeah, we also have Piece Together, trivia, all that fun stuff with our crew here. Before we get started, though, both regular news and podcast news. I think it's good to start with the podcast news since this is the podcast. Steve, I'm going to throw it to you. Why don't you talk about the newest episode of Forced to Watch 4Kids that just came out this past weekend?
Well, if you aren't aware, we have a Patreon exclusive podcast hosted by myself and Alex. It's called Forced to Watch 4Kids. What does that entail? We're forced to watch 4Kids, the dub that is. And we're currently heading into the Arlong arc, whatever you prefer to call it as. And this is when the wheels are falling off the wagon. Or
there were wheels on the wagon?
Broken up. The mast has broken off the ship.
Main characters are already voicing other characters. They've already run out of actors.
Is that how we measure lack of success in the 4Kids dub? I feel like there was a lot of other. At least you got your first Italian chef stereotype, and isn't that
okay? I was gonna ask if anyone has listened yet.
Oh, I listened to it, and it was Mark Derison has already been another voice in the. And Sean Schimmel's already back for a couple of characters.
Sean Schimmel. Thank you. So yeah, you can check that out for $5 and up on our Patreon website, patreon.com/One Piece Podcast. And thanks to Steve and Alex for doing that. Fight Together also returns this spring. We have recorded 2 out of the 5 episodes as I sit here today. On transgender representation and fascism and tyranny in One Piece and how it relates to the real world. Fight Together also now has its own feed on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, amongst others. So check that out if you haven't. Subscribe, rate, and review that podcast. And if you don't like it, whatever. You don't have to listen to it, but you should. So check that out. So now, One Piece news. Do we have some sort of song for this, Ed? I don't think so.
This is the One Piece news. Zach, take it away.
This is the One Piece news. Thank you, Ed. That's a good co-host right there. So there's some news this week. First of all, the Sanji cookbook is coming out from Viz in English. Stephen, I don't know what you're allowed to talk about, but talk about it.
I actually just finished up my work on this one not that long ago. It's interesting. I know it's been requested for a long time because I think it came out in 2012 or something. All of the recipes are themed after something. It's basically they went through the series and picked out every reference to food that they could, and then came up with some, real world recipe that somewhat resembles that. And I think the last reference that I recall was maybe like some of Kami's seafood in Fishman Island. So that kind of tells you how old the book is. But it's long requested and will be coming out in English. So my part of the book is done now, but I do know that they have somebody, they have like a tester who's going to be trying out the recipes to make sure that like the measurements and stuff is workable and stuff, make sure that nothing went terribly wrong in the translation process. And I don't know if there's any like adjustments they decide they want to do. I suppose that will happen after that point. But it should be interesting.
I'll say that this came out, I think, before my first trip to Japan in 2013 for One Piece Podcast Goes to Japan, available on patreon.com/One Piece Podcast, because I know I gave that to Steve as a gift, right? Along with the Sanji air freshener, which I assume smells like cigarettes.
And Tankoban from the long forgotten, gone too soon Chopper Man spin-off manga.
I forgot I got that for you. Was that baby mushroom something?
Baby pecker bamboo.
Baby pecker
bamboo. It's almost there. Maddie also made some of the recipes in this book 2 years ago, or 3 years ago almost, including water cabbage, fried rice for Geen, who never comes back, Neptunian penne gorgonzola, ex-pirate Shaki's simmered beans, Oda Sensei's favorite sea chicken onigiri, which I assume is tuna.
Yeah,
chicken
that's
of the
tuna.
sea.
That was like the one note that I passed on. I was like, this is a brand name and it only exists in Japan, so I don't know if you want to keep this in there or use a generic substitute. But
I thought there was chicken of the sea in the United States too.
That's chicken of the sea, but sea chicken is a specific product in Japan, and they have like attribution in the contents page and stuff. Like it's a trademark of blah blah blah.
Yeah, canned tuna for some reason grosses me out a little. We won't get into that though because there's other announcements, and that includes One Piece Box Set 4 also coming out fall 2021. This includes volumes 71 through 90, so that's 50% Dressrosa and the other 50% a combination of Zou, Whole Cake Island, and the Reverie. I don't know if we don't know anything else about what the exclusive bonus gifts for that set will be or what the actual set will look like. We were having a little discussion on Twitter with Miles from Crunchyroll about how they usually just, that's supposed to be like the surplus volumes that Viz has. And I think they put that in the box set. So I don't know if there's going to be anything new.
Oh, you mean that they're not necessarily printing new covers and things like that? Yeah.
Right. I assume not.
We were talking about the Viz logo. Because it has changed a lot over the years.
I think this is at least the fourth change just on the One Piece, just on the sides of the One Piece volumes.
One Piece has been going on for a long time.
I don't know if you knew that.
Has it?
Remember the gold foil?
Volume 31 of the Omnibus is just announced today. Also comes out on June 1st. That includes volumes 91 through 93. 91 through 93. And in anime news, and I definitely want to talk about this, Season 11 Voyage 2 comes out May 11th, featuring Steven's favorite character. That's Giola, right? On the front of that. And her artistic. I forget most of the puns that you made for her, but I know you enjoyed making them. Yeah. Anyway, and Steve, do you want to talk about the temporary cover at least for Season 11 Voyage 4 out on digital now? That's episodes 668 through 680. So
well, the promo images for the streaming stuff is different than the Voyage covers, but
yes, it is.
Yeah, all your favorites are there, like Sugar, Misshapen Dellinger, and chilled and mellowed out, super positive. Everyone get along, smiling Doflamingo.
It's funny because Treble, the one who's known for his annoying laugh, is the only one not smiling in that. Sorry. That it is the weirdest. That's just the weirdest looking art. I don't know what is going on there. Anyway,
it's totally like, hey, we need this done in like an afternoon kind of stuff.
I know you
can
and
see
Ed.
the text of Don Quixote family behind his jacket. It's just
Oh yeah,
sort of there. You can see
it's
two or
probably
three
for
words.
something else.
letters.
Yeah,
I do like the 2 voyage covers so far. I think they are spectacular.
I think
I like that
Go ahead.
of all the things you could possibly put on the first voyage
Hold on.
set for Dressrosa, they went with the the ska hat pirates, just all of them in their disguises sitting in that restaurant.
I
where
love
they meet
that.
Fujitora.
It's such a
Great cover.
Yeah.
What's going on with Dellinger's bulge here? Why does he got such a large bulge?
Oh well, that's
Why doesn't he?
Do you need me to spell it out for you?
you know what? I think I do. But you don't have to right now. Season
Go away.
Season 11 Voyage 1 comes out on March 23rd. Voyage 2 comes out on May 11th. So those are the first two of Dressrosa that you can
And the
pick
first
up. I know
Blu-rays for One Piece.
Blu-rays,
US
yeah, the
release.
first Blu-rays. We haven't really talked about that much, but I know you, Ed, and Steve have been watching through those. And are you still in Punk Hazard, Ed? Or
I
you-
know I finished it yesterday. I was
Okay.
watching the Caesar retrieval arc, which is just it's
Sorry.
awful. It's awful.
Yeah, I kind
Uh,
of like tuned out when I was like watching those episodes, but I've been watching the latest batch on Funimation now. I haven't seen all the episodes yet, but I don't know. I think the fact that Dressrosa is just packed with so many characters, I'm feeling that sense of like excitement, looking forward to hearing
Although the
characters' voices again.
credits,
Yeah.
the credits on the disc have taken a noticeable like drop in quality. They don't put nearly as much effort into the credits for each episode as they used to, which is
I think that's.
A shame.
I think it's I wouldn't be surprised if that's some Toei meddling.
like I was
You know-
watching those filler episodes, and they're still like in the credits. The credits are the same for the entire set, so we don't get the filler characters' voices. We just see characters from Punk Hazard that we left 3 episodes ago.
Yeah,
So-
it's a real shame that unless like you're checking Twitter and maybe someone gets a retweet saying like, oh hey, I voiced this character.
Well, no, it'll go
You
up on
might not
ANN
ever
eventually.
know.
I mean,
Yeah.
but yeah.
I was looking at the episode numbers because I didn't really watch Dressrosa as it was airing, and like where they're at in the sets. And damn, it takes forever for anything to happen.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Also in the manga, but
That's the
besides-
problem. Like,
Yeah,
the anime isn't gonna make things move any faster.
But I feel like Dressrosa is kind of like the unlimited adventure of of this point in the
They're
dub.
collecting a grand fleet.
Well,
I
we
gotta
get to-
collect all of
I'm,
them?
I'm confused by that wording, Zach. Do you just mean like an unlimited adventure, just like generic, or are you talking about the game for the Nintendo?
No, the
Wii
game-
from-
the game for the Nintendo Wii, in that we get to hear all these voices we haven't heard in a while, or new voices, and that there's novelty in that. But at the same time, it's a very boring time.
Or it's like it's a struggle. There's a lot of work that goes into just getting to that.
Yeah.
Man, I would love to hear Dellinger's voice, but I got to sit through 5 episodes of Luffy versus Don Chinjiao.
Yep. Anyway,
Are we doing
I-
arc recaps right now? What's going on?
no, I
No,
think
we're doing arcs of consequences.
Oh, okay.
no.
Arcs have
so I think we're-
consequences, Steve. That's right.
So I think we're going to talk about volume 98. Is there any other things that you guys want to talk about at the top here, or are we good?
Did we want to talk about the poll results?
Oh crap. Yes, thank you, Stephen. So we should talk about the poll results. So, first of all, there was the WT 100, the world top 100 One Piece characters have been doing a worldwide vote since the beginning of the year ish. I think January 4th when I'm
Yeah.
assuming it's when chapter
Yeah,
1000 came out.
Yeah, it was like the day or so after that came out, I think.
And it ends on February 28th, so the end of the month, Japan time. You could vote once a day, and this is the first time any results have been released. So let's do the top 10. Drum roll, please. It was more of a tongue roll and not a drum roll, but okay. Number 10.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Zach. Let me go get my drum kit real quick.
Okay,
Hang
I'll give you a couple minutes. Okay.
It's too far.
So, let's start with our overall rankings. Top 10. Shanks at number 10. Boa Hancock at number 9. Sabo, everyone's Poochie at number 8. Nami at number 7. Nico Robin at number 6. The other Poochie, Porcasti Ace at number 5. Trafalgar Law, just for Joe here at number 4. Sanji at number 3. Zoro at number 2. And Luffy at number 1.
How you imply like it's just for me? Like I'm the only one that voted for him. It's all me.
Yeah, I was about to say.
All me.
That was.
On this show, you can have all to yourself as a treat.
So, any thoughts on this top?
You can have him. Django didn't crack the top 100, so my work is not
Neither
done
did
yet.
Pearl.
Oh.
So
Those are my faves in the top 10.
So some notable ones, Yamato making it to 11, Corazon number 13. I know that's a big one. Just for one person only. Also for Sam, Carrots at number 17.
Hey, all right.
Yeah, there he is. Whoop Slap at number 27, but making the top 10 in many different polls. Now, I think we could give the credit there to Grand Line Review or us, and I choose us. Even though we didn't even hype it very much.
I feel like he's also
Hey,
one of the first characters you would see once you open up the voting website. Like first arc, first section.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't think of that.
He's
Like,
got
hey,
a funny
that's a
name, and maybe he's one of the first people you see.
You know,
Wow,
I
I
gotta
didn't pick it
say,
out, yeah.
we were championing Whoop Slap like years ago before it was cool. So
Oops,
We
was
were.
always cool.
We were memeing.
Well, to be fair, Grand Line Review, I think, was a listener of ours way back. So, it's like we're the inspiration behind the inspiration is how I choose. Yeah,
I'll
that's what
take
he
it.
said.
Well, you know who I don't see? I don't see falafel.
Ooh,
We're the-
Waffle's
God.
time in the
Yeah.
sun is over.
we're the one who put Whoop Slap's bucket hat on Liam's head and said,
let's go through some fun regional ones here while we're here. So yeah, Whoop Slap is in North America. Some interesting choices. First off, Nico Robin at number 4. That's all Grant, I assume. You see, each of the top, I assume, is attributed to just a single person. That's how this works. Yamato number 6, and Whoop Slap at number 7. So those are probably the most unique ones for us here. Odin is at number 21 in North America, so very popular already. In Japan, interesting to note, Don Quixote Rocinante at number 7. Yamato down at number 19. He's all the way down to 19 for that one. Anyone else really interesting? Enaru's at 32. I don't really see anything crazy there.
I'm going to use this time now to talk
Please.
about how our dear Frankie is the least popular Straw Hat in the overall rankings.
What number?
Coming in at number 30.
30.
I
Wow.
can't believe. And
People don't like the post time skip design.
I don't think it's just that. I think Frankie's a tough sell for all these anime nerds. There, I said it.
I'm
He's
shocked
cool
that
for them.
I'm shocked that he was lower than Brook because I thought Brook was
Me
usually
too.
the one that comes in last.
So I make a vow now, and I'm asking for everyone out there to stand up and vote for
No.
Frankie for the remaining of these days. Because you don't need to vote for freaking Law. He's good. He's gravy. Number 4.
Are you talking just to
that's his.
Joe? Are you? It sounds
Yeah,
like
Joe.
you're
Or
talking
Zoro. Yeah.
Stop voting for Law.
I haven't voted in a month. I keep
All
forgetting.
likely story.
I forget.
Wow. Haven't voted in a
I am
month.
just going to use the remainder of the time because my meme votes are just going to be wasted. I'm just going to vote for Frankie now. I want Frankie to do better because Frankie rules.
I mean,
Speaking
we all
of,
want Frankie to do better. after Dressrosa.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. Some other interesting votes. In Latin America, Carrot is at number 5. I can't believe that Sam traveled to Latin America just to make those votes. Yamato at number 8. In Europe, Yamato at number 9. Anything else interesting here? Not really. Everything else is pretty standard. Zoro at number 1 in both of those places and in the Middle East. Sabo at number 10 in the Middle East. They like him. And Katakuri at number 4. In Africa, Katakuri at number 8. Yamato at number 6. Boa Hancock at number 7. Very popular in Africa. Is there no Australia? Just realized.
Oceania.
Oh, yeah, Oceania.
Oceania.
I know I started in North America. That's why I got all confused there. Whoop Slap at number 6 there. Thus continuing to prove that the only person voting in that entire region is Liam.
Fishwoman Nami was on the Oceania one. She's 39.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Monet at number 20 there. I don't know what's going on over in Oceania. Oh, yeah, Fishwoman Nami. Oh, that's amazing.
People are horny for harpies, man.
Bocce, I've noticed, making it really far in a lot of these, which I'm
Yeah.
okay with. Yeah. Okay.
Do you speak bocce?
Ryunosuke. And in Asia, Katakuri at 10, Boa Hancock at 8, Law at number 4 in that one. Anything crazy there? I don't really see anything. Going Merry at number 17. People really miss that guy. Whoop Slap only at number 29 there. Don't know what's going on. Sometimes Whoop Slap can't be number 1. That's
It'd be
what I'm
funny.
learning.
It's funny how much we take the piss out of Ace's death, but then if someone who Mary's dead, I'd be like, "You take that back. You take that back." I will defend a boat,
but not the brother of the main character.
nah.
Any comments besides the ones that Steve has made about any of this?
I got to see the actual like numerical tallies for these results, and I don't remember that much about it other than just the placements, and obviously it would not be right of me to like quote any of them. But the one thing that I remember kind of marveling at, aside from what we've already talked about, is you'll notice, I think that Zoro came in first in the most territories specifically, but he was still number 2 behind Luffy overall. And from what I remember, mainland Asia was like, like the numbers on Luffy were insane. Like they were way, way, way beyond every other character. So that territory, I think, was kind of like single-handedly responsible for putting Luffy back over the top over Zoro.
Well, One Piece is huge in Indonesia and also in China. So
yeah, I mean, yes, obviously, like that counts for Indonesia, China, India, some of the most populous countries in the world. So there were lots and lots of votes in Asia.
Yeah. I was going to say, maybe they just didn't get past chapter 1 and they're like, okay, I guess Whoop Slap's there and
this guy
Luffy's
seems the
there.
best.
Yeah, this guy is the best.
Zoro? Never heard of him.
There was also a video which our good friend Greg got to be a major part of as part of the announcement, the midway, and also Gisem was on it as well.
From Germany.
From Germany. So check that out if you have not. It's around a half hour, and it's on. It's called the One Piece Times, and it's on it's on that website, the WT100 website. So you could vote through February 28th, OnePieceWT100.com/EN if you wish it to be in English. And vote for Frankie and maybe some other people as well, like Whoop Slap or even Big News Morgans.
But especially Frankie.
Just, guys, don't vote for Conjuro because that guy's a dick. Anyway, that'll do it for that. Let's talk about volume 98. This is the manga recap for volume 98. What's the title for this one, Steven?
Vassals of Glory.
Vassals of Glory. Now, we used to have it so you could see all the little images as we talk. Unfortunately, M4As have gone by, which is what we used to use as our file name, AACs, whatever you want to call it. Those have gone by the wayside. No one likes them anymore because they were too good and they allowed you to see things while we talked. So, Steven is going to use his mellifluent voice to describe what occurs on each page.
Mac, you can't say that word or else she appears.
That's Maleficent.
I think you meant mellifluent, not malevolent.
Malevolent. My dog just groaned at that joke. So, but you can pick this volume up anywhere you get your Japanese volumes, including on Amazon Japan, CD Japan. I don't know, other places. Where do people buy things? Anyway, pick that up if you haven't. Anyway, Steven, what's going on the cover?
Well, on the cover, we have a very white and blue themed illustration where it's pretty much just Luffy and Yamato like in neutral coloring in the center. And then kind of in the background, you have Dog Storm and Cat Viper in their Sulong forms. But everyone else, all the Akazaya around them, have this like cool blue, like sour blue raspberry tint to them. Yeah, it's an interesting choice.
Not a fan?
I don't know. It looks okay. It's just kind of like, I don't understand it. I'm not sure what the point of it is, I guess.
Makes
I would
Luffy and
prefer
Yamato
sour
stand
apple.
Makes Luffy
Watermelon.
and Yamato stand
Ta-da.
out, so.
Yeah, I guess so.
So there's something that is bugging me about this cover, and it's Kawamatsu. I know that his hand is over his like snout, but it just looks like he has a shortened snout, and it's like bugging the crap out of me.
Interesting.
I really like this cover personally. I think I think the blue helps with all the busyness. Like, I think this would look absolutely insane in kind of the bad way if everyone were colored normally.
Yeah.
I assume the colors are supposed to also be based on Yamato's hair color scheme, but I am colorblind, so I'll confirm that with all of you.
Yeah, I think that is. I think that's true. Also, I will say I like that they're all kind of basically in the same plane. Like, it's not a bunch of different shots of them mashed together in weird ways.
Mm-hmm. I just realized something about Yamato's hair. You talk about blue raspberry. You notice Yamato's hair kind of just like looks just like a Fun Dip stick dipped in the blue raspberry. But
right.
that's the Fun Dip flavor. When as soon as like it touches your tongue, it changes to sour apple.
It's also just like the general color scheme of the entire cover. Just happens to match Yamato's hair perfectly.
You're taking me back to playing Little League and buying candy after the game.
Exactly.
I'm sure that's what Oda intended here.
Yep. That's what he was going for.
So as people may know, under the cover, there's usually a little bit of a surprise.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny. I feel like I didn't see that many people talking about this one with the Pandaman appearance, and in this case, wow, Pandaman has gone Sulong. He's a moon bear.
I'm shocked there haven't been any YouTube videos that are like, confirmed Pandaman is a mink.
I mean, when you think about it.
We'll save that for the next manga break.
Yeah. But it fits in. He's got the like sort of flowing, flaming looking fur and the sort of creepy melty look. It's kind of weird. I like it. That's creative.
I like
it's
it
fun.
too, yeah.
Oda's comment this time is a rather interesting one, and so I'm going to give you kind of more like what the straightforward Japanese version of it is. That there is, so he says there's an insect, and the illustration here is of a black and yellow striped beetle looking thing folding his arms and smiling, and the comment is. So there's this insect called a toge, which means toge means spike or thorn. So it's like a spiky spike, toge. And then they found that there were toge toge that don't have any toge in them. So it became a toge nashi toge toge, which means a spiky spike without spikes. And then among that family, they found that there was another species that did have thorns. So it became a toge ari toge nashi toge toge, which means a spiked, spikeless, spiky spike. And now I'm wondering if within that grouping, maybe there's some that are cowards, and that would be ikuji nashi, or like without guts or without spirit or something. And maybe some of those also have reasons for being cowards, which would be wakeari. And so that would be called a wakeari ikuji nashi toge nashi toge, meaning like a spike, a spikeless, spiky spike who has reasons for being a coward, but it's just making this pattern. It's this power.
Spiky.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Of ari nashi. And then he concludes by saying, Wano kuni moriagari hampa nashi, volume 98, which would be like, Wano is getting super exciting and crazy in volume 98. So it's like this whole long pattern thing of the same sounds getting repeated over and over again in a rather silly way. So there will be an English version of that lines up with that when this volume comes out. And then we get into the character profiles, and I think people were pointing out too that this is the first time we get all 10 Straw Hats in the character profile page.
Yeah, Jinbei's there. Look at that.
Just nice, yeah.
Now let's see if he could escape from. And Shanks. Let's see if he could escape this situation now. Somehow go out and get more cigarettes.
I said I'd do this thing, and I'm like, no, you're on the character introduction page as a Straw Hat. No. Can I just join next week? I got a thing I got to do.
Yeah, it also makes it clear since in Wano, all of the characters, like their first listing of their name is their Wano name, like Luffy Taro and Zorojuro and all that. And so Jinbei is the only one who doesn't have like a Wano name. So I feel like that needs to be an SBS question at some point.
Or we could just settle it right here, right now.
I think we should. Jinbei Juro.
Would it be like the opposite, since Jinbei is already like it's a type of clothing? It's a robe.
You say
right? He
that's
wears
true?
one.
Let's call him kimono then.
Do we just call him like robe?
Yukata.
Wait. Yeah, yukata probably. But how do you say uncle in Japanese, Steven?
Oji-san?
Oh.
Osan?
Osan.
That's what.
Jinbei Oji-san.
That's all, man. Jinbei Osan. Sure, whatever. Old man Jinbei. Old man Jinbei by the sea.
Old man Jinbei in the sea.
Jimburo.
I like that too.
Yeah, and then we have all the vast cast of the Wano arc, spanning 4 pages of character profiles. Nothing else really new about that. So we'll get into the volume itself, and this one covers from chapter 985, the new Onigashima project, to 994. My other name is Yamato. So that pretty much covers from Kaido's big reveal and his slaying of Orochi, all the way to Yamato's big entrance saving Momonosuke. We actually have quite a lot of SBS in this volume, so I will get right into it. Our first one starts with a header illustration from Sankoko, and it looks like, I'm trying to find, it looks like it's like the water froth here for the SBS. But it's like Luffy riding on the giant koi fish, presumably the Wano style koi fish. And our first question is says, Oda Sensei, look, there's a UFO. Start the SBS. And Oda's like, wait, what? Oh man, that's like an elementary school thing. Like, what kind of a prank is that? Like, God, you totally got me. Damn it. Oh, it says he's 11, so he is in elementary school. So that's the title call. The next question, which you could probably guess as to the nature of the content, because the illustration that they picked out to go along with it is the infamous Frankie's inflatable ass image from NES Lobby, where he's about to do the coup de bout. And the question is, my mom just farts all around the clock, all day, at every time. Does she have the power of the fart fruit? And Oda says, no, I think that's just a sign of a healthy digestive system. So let's go to the next question. And that question is, Oda Sensei, hi. I asked my grandma, and she says that Yamato's birthday is November 3rd. Is that true? And Oda's like, well, I don't know why it wouldn't be November 3rd. So just sort of playing along with it. I'm not sure. They didn't say if there was like a tie, like a thematic tie to that. I'm not.
I was gonna say,
look it up.
This is how easy it is to make a birthday for a character. You just write in saying, can it be this for no particular reason?
Yeah. I don't know. There might be some holiday or something. I did not look it up, but we can find that out later. Next, we have it's a very random question. Please draw what it looks like when Law eats an umeboshi, which is a sour pickled plum. And so, yeah, he draws this cute little like chibi version of Law, where his eyes are doing the little like less than, greater than, little symbols, and then his mouth is just a little asterisk because he's going.
Little butthole.
Yeah, the little butthole.
Little cat butthole.
Lots of sour flavors in this recap. And
so that would be his lemon face. You're saying
his warhead's face. And then he even drew like a little simplified version of it where it's just it's like a little emoji almost.
That's if he dies from sourness. That's what it looks like, because his eyes are X's.
Yeah, his eyes are X's in this one.
Like his map icon. What he looks like on little Oda maps.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. And then the last question on this one is, I'm remembering that story you told about Kid and Killer's first crush, who was named Broth Splatterina. I'm so curious about her. What did she look like? I bet she's really cute. And then Oda drew her. It just kind of looks like a normal, she's got a bob haircut and freckles, but she's really angry because she's holding her dress out with the spots on it, and she's like, "You splattered the broth all over me." Real pissed about that. So
that's actually a good example of an Oda like a female design that's just like not like his usual ones, but not bad.
Just kind of tossed it out there. Yeah, that was the story that he said in a different SBS. I forget how long ago. I think it was a little while back.
I don't remember that one.
Where he said the story, or no, it was because they both hated curry udon, and someone asked, why do they both hate the same thing, and then he made up this story about how their first crush, they were eating curry udon in the cafeteria at school or whatever, and they splashed the curry broth all over her dress, and she got mad.
So this is an opening.
Like curry udon.
By the way, this is an opening for a high school spin-off with Kid and Killer both being in the same high school with a crush on the same girl. And
It's one of those Happy Days commercials.
Yeah, if they do another one, and then they can put this character in there getting splashed on.
Hungry Days?
Sorry, Hungry Days, yeah.
I just
Happy Days.
World with
hungry days. Yeah.
jump the shark every episode.
Like literally, because there's probably Arlong is just like, hey, quit jumping.
It's not cool.
Write that one down.
I did.
Our next SBS is from a frequent header provider, who always does the chopper ones. And in this case, he is I don't know what he's doing. He's like flying. Is that like I guess it's like a propeller or something? I'm
trying to figure it out.
It's got a Toucan Sam in the corner.
It's not like I just don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
That's my
very strange.
It's my 2 cents.
And our first question here says, hello, Oda Sensei. Recently, I used Conqueror's Hockey on my 1-year-old sister, and she just laughed. Why? And Oda is like, I think it's because your little sister is the one who has the true nature of a king.
There you go.
Yeah. The next one, I really like this one. It's Odachi in chapter 977. There's that scene where everybody hugs Jinbei and Nami is like right up in the foreground and she's giving him this big hug. And then later, I noticed in the corner of a panel that Sanji is like doing that thing where he's biting the handkerchief and grabbing it with his other hand and going in frustration, like a jilted romantic rival. He's like, I found that. And Oda's like, wow, that's amazing. I can't believe you spotted that because it's so abstract. And you can even see like he had to redraw it basically with detail to show like how it's supposed to look to you because it's just crammed into the corner of the panel behind Nami's hair.
It's zoom in, enhance.
Yeah, he's doing the Deckard enhance Blade Runner. That's pretty great. And he's like, yep, he's like, well done. Good job spotting that. The next question came from a little kid, and Oda reprinted the writing there because he says he liked the momentum of your calligraphy. And the question is like, if Luffy has gear 4, will there be gear 5? And so it is like, oh, this is a great question. Gosh, I wonder if there's going to be a gear 5. I mean, he's got this bad guy that he needs to beat right now is, they say he's the toughest man in the world. So maybe. And, everybody in the world today is talking about 4G this and 5G that. I assume gear G stands for gear, right? That makes sense. So
talking
he's
about how 5th gear caused COVID.
Yeah.
Bill Gates invented fifth gear.
Oda confirms gear 5 is happening.
Well, it's kind of like he's sort of playing around it, but coyly without admitting it. It's kind of a cute answer. Last one is kind of a fun question, and actually this is kind of a helpful one because it allowed me to put into context something that is not explicitly understood in the English version. So the question is in chapter 978, Ulti is talking and she's using in Japanese what is called arinsu kotoba. Arinsu. That's how she talks. And she keeps saying that. And page 1 is like, this is another one of your weird trends. And so I wondered, what was the trend that she was doing before that? And so this is what I represent with the fancy lady, like, oh, I'm ever so tired of this nonsense, that she does when she's switching between polite and crude. And that specifically is the arins that she does is the Oiran speak. So like when Komurasaki is like sort of doing her official business, that's what she uses. But it's it's impossible to represent that in English. And so Oda says like, oh yes, before arins, she used gonsu. So she would say like, Peitan, Watashi kawaiso de gonsu, which is like basically an even older, more archaic version of like fancy, like it's a shortened version of de gozaimasu. So she did that before, and now she likes arintsu. And so I think I'm going to have her, it's going to be like, oh, prithee, pay, my dearest brother. So she's going to be talking like Shakespearean or something like that. So basically,
I'm trying to think of what predated Southern.
Well, that was what you guys classified it as. I was just writing like
that's canon.
Like what is fancy speak for a refined young lady.
Okay.
The next SBS is this was kind of a fun one. The header is Brook using his soul form and terrifying the little flower. Oh man, what was her name? Chome, I think, is her name. The little flower ninja in the Oniwa Banshu. And the actually, we don't even have the question for the first one. It is Oda has to explain it himself. So he says, "Hey guys, I'm really sorry. So I got a postcard or a letter from someone, and I actually lost it, but I remember what it said. So don't worry. It was from a person named Aeon, or Eeyan. And they were telling me like, check out my YouTube channel because I put up cool YouTubes, and so I checked it out, and it was like homemade figure construction. So he's making his own One Piece figures at home, and I was like, wait a second, I recognize this. Wait a second, where have I seen this before? And it turns out that he had already submitted pictures of those figures to the Usopp Gallery. And unfortunately, they don't, I don't think we put them in the English version. But in the Japanese, in the Usopp Gallery, you can see at the end this guy Aeon's figures. He did Jack, King, and Queen. He's like, so it turns out that was the guy who was making these figures. He's like, it's so cool that like I have readers who are YouTubers now. So you can go ahead and search for Aeon on YouTube and check out his channel. Good luck. Also, it says that he did a collaboration with Sanadachi, but you don't have to watch that one. So I looked it up and I checked, and yeah, if you do a search on YouTube for Aeon, Eeyan in all caps, I think there's actually more than one person with that like account name, but the one is just YouTube or just One Piece videos, so it's pretty easy to spot.
Oh yeah, the first one that comes up is a Prometheus, and there's also he made an Oda grateful to I guess thank Oda for this.
For this, yeah.
The like swollen Usopp too.
Yeah, so that's cool. Yeah, I should go check it out. I'm glad that I was very relieved when I was going through these, and I was like, oh, you can just type it in English. That helps a lot because then we can actually put this question in the book, and it will make sense to people.
By the way, when Jo says swollen Usopp, she means the one in Drum Island with the giant head with all the bumps all over his face when Vivi couldn't recognize him.
Not Usopp showing up at Sabaody all buff
swole.
After 2 years.
Not swole Usopp, swollen Usopp. Very easy to confuse. Different though.
Yes. So
it's also subtitled in English, by the way. At least his newest video.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Cool. He's doing it international. Very good.
Yes.
Our next question is, I was doing research on the practice of mixed bathing, and apparently in the past, it was not uncommon for when young women went into the bath, that perverts like Odachi would kind of like sneak over and sidle up to them and try to get a little closer. And the older ladies and the grandmas and stuff, they would surround the young ladies to protect them from being creeped on. I just hate those perverts. Like they just make me so sick. By the way, I've decided to move into and live out of a bathhouse, and that came from pen name Sanadachi.
Sanada.
I'm sick of these perverts like Odachi.
Yeah. And Oda's like, excuse me, ma'am, you're in the way. Could you please scooch down or scooch over a little bit? Like I can't see what I paid to see here. I'm against this culture that you've created here. I protest. Ow! Oh, stop crushing my balls! Ow, that hurts. That really hurts. And then he snaps and he's like, stop ruining the sanctity of the SBS, Sanada. He's like, I can't believe he showed up again. Damn it. Ladies, go crush his balls. Crush his ball. Ow, no, not me, him, Sanada. Yeah. So he does the whole bit. And he's like, so there you go. All of you people who just assumed that they heard mixed bathing and you just assumed it was disgusting and immoral. Well, it turns out that even in the past, people had shame and propriety, and the culture of bathing in Japan. They did protect young women from predators. So there you go. And the next SBS is this is a nice blast from the past on this header with T-Bone, Captain T-Bone, or
we actually talk about Captain T-Bone a lot in the First Fight Together episodes, so look forward to that.
Or a former Captain T-Bone, as I will discuss in a moment. But yeah, it's kind of funny. There's like a message on it too, where he's saying, because you remember he was like super upright, proper justice kind of guy, and he's like, I despise all wrong answers, and then he says like S-bone S, so the question is about the Navy ranks, the Marine ranks, which have been printed before. I had to look this up to remember which chapters. So he did it in Volume 8 in the SBS was the first time that Oda described all of the ranks. And then in Volume 45, when Garp and Kobe and Helmeppo show up, he put it into the cover page of one of the chapters there. So this is the third time he has printed the ranks of the Navy, but it's an updated version that shows where everybody is now, which is kind of handy because there has been some shuffling. And so we have at the top, we have the Fleet Admiral Sakazuki Akainu. The three admirals are Borsalino, who is Kizaru, Isho, who is Fujitora, and the as of yet unnamed Rokugyu. Our vice admirals are Monkey D. Garp, Tsuru, John Giant, Doberman, Onigumo, Momonga, Yamakaji, Strawberry, Bastille, Maynard, Gion, aka Momo Usagi, Tokikake, aka Chaton. Those two are Joey's favorites. Smoker and Komiel, who is the guy from the cover story from Ace.
Coffee
delivering.
guy.
Yes, Mr. Coffee Milk.
Yeah.
Beneath that is Rear Admiral Hina and T-Bone. Former Captain T-Bone is now Rear Admiral T-Bone.
He got promoted for being so terrible at his job.
Yeah. Or maybe he got promoted for being so good at Beat Saber. The SPS drawing kind of looks like he's playing Beat Saber.
Nice. And following that, we have the Commodores, and that is Brand New and Yarisugi. Then we have the Captains, Tashigi and Kobe. Then there is Commander. We don't have any listed commanders here. But under Lieutenant Commander, we have Helmeppo, Full Body, and Django, who were formerly Seaman recruits. And there's
so Full Body got promoted again.
Yeah, about time.
Yeah. And then there's a whole bunch of lower ranks which are not relevant at this point. And there's a few other extra characters that he throws in on the corner. Sengoku, who is obviously no longer the Fleet Admiral, is now in the Inspector General role, where he instructs younger recruits. Kuzan Aokiji is a former Navy Admiral, but is now rumored to be in contact with Blackbeard. And then we have Diaz Drake, who is a former commander, or a former Rear Admiral, and Corazon, who was a former commander. So there you go. That's pretty much all the Navy guys that you need to know about. We'll move on to the next one. I like this. This header is very cute. It is page 1 in Ulti, and it's kind of hard to tell what she's doing. I guess she's like pulling his hat down over his face or something. But she's getting up in his business as they're squabbling. And this question is about all of the card games. So the person writing in says, I noticed that all of the Kaido's pirate officers' names are based on card games and the cards themselves. And Oda says, yes, obviously everyone knows what the lead performers are, Jack, Queen, King. But also the Tobiroppo, the numbers, and the headliners are all based off of either the names of card games or the cards themselves, like the face cards and 1 through 10. The only exceptions to that being Drake, Apu, and Hawkins, because they came from outside of the organization. And then he lists a couple of them: Who's Who, Black Maria, Ulti, Page One, Sasaki, Hold'em, and Babanuki. And Oda says, if I listed them all, it would fill this entire page. So, I'll just cut it off there. Probably most of you are thinking like, I've never heard of these. Well, it turns out there are so many different card games that people play all over the world. So there's lots to choose from. And he says, incidentally, you may recall that back in Dressrosa, Doflamingo went by the codename Joker. Well, the reason for that is that initially my thought for the story was going to be that Doflamingo would appear in the Wano arc as a powerful ally of Kaido, and that's where that came from. That was my initial plan for that. So looking back on it, I'm really glad we got that pain in the ass out of the way in Dressrosa, so he didn't show up here. So that's kind of interesting, and I think obviously he was aligned with Kaido, so we could kind of guess that's why he had the name Joker. But it's kind of interesting to hear that he was initially planned to be part of this arc and this crew before. Yeah, well, certainly with how much Oda developed it when it came time for the arc, but I'm sure that was like a plan that he had way back, because we know that initially he wasn't even going to have the 7 warlords. It was just going to be the 4 emperors. So our next one is we've got a little picture of Otama pulling off her millet dumplings. And it says, I am a member of the SBS Board of Ethics and Morality, and I think Sanadachi has gone too far. By the way, Odachi, I would love to eat your millet dumplings. And the pen name is Fan of Sanadachi. And Oda says, oh, you like the ones that pop off of my cheeks? You know what? Let's pass on that, because it's gonna have stubble all over it. It's gonna be real disgusting. I don't think you want that. Also, you should probably change your pen name. So there you go. Just put that image into your head of like a little dumpling just covered with stubble,
a
beard, hair.
45-year-old man, chin, or cheek.
Ugh. And our next question is about the horns. This is a good one, because I know a lot of people were talking about this back in the day. The people who have eaten smile fruits all have horns, right? So why do the pleasures have 1 horn and the gifters have 2 horns? And Oda's like, oh yeah, you've been paying attention. Well, actually, that is just fashion. He says that it's not like a forceful thing, like they don't enforce it. But the rule is that pleasures can have 1 horn and gifters and above can have 2 if they want. So
I'm surprised he went that route there. He could have literally just said, yes, you're right. But,
well, I actually didn't want to have to like explain like, how does that work physiologically?
I think it's more that if he forgot someone had it, this is covering his bases. Like if he forgot to draw it on someone.
Yeah, exactly. Our next segment is
here we go.
we start off with the header, a real cool one of Sulong, Cat Viper, and Dogstorm. Yes, our first question. Actually, you know what? I'm going to give you a little spoiler here. This one was asked by the person who submitted the reader request for next week's chapter cover. That's interesting. I'm like, wait, why do I recognize his name? But the question is, can you please draw the pervert cook, Sanji, at age 40 and age 60? And Oda says, I've got lots of requests for this, so let's go. And yes, everybody was talking about this. Sanji with his flowing future locks. Age 40. He's got real long hair, but otherwise pretty much looks the same. Maybe a little firmer chin, a little more hair.
Slightly better facial hair, but not really.
It's
he
filled
looks
out
like
a
he
little.
belongs on the cover of a Harlequin romance novel.
Yeah.
Like he's about to go out on a roller coaster and get hit in the face with a bird.
A goose. Yeah.
And he is saying, when it comes to women and ingredients, I don't discriminate. So there you go. Sounding very cool. And at age 60, he's definitely looking more Zeph-like here. He's got the big tall chef's hat on, and he's also got a braided beard, which is interesting. And he says, I'm about to go fishing in the all blue. And very
Is that
cool.
like a euphemism at all?
I don't know. You tell me. Sanji's cool. But here we go. Here's Sanji is not cool in our alternate future, where at age 40 he's covered both of his eyes. No more eyebrows for Sanji, and he's still smoking, but he's kind of let himself go a bit here, and he is saying, once it's in your stomach, it's all the same anyway. So shocking, something Sanji would never say.
Wow.
And at age 60, he is literally just Vinge Smoke Judge, but wearing an S-shaped mask instead.
He's Vince Smoke Sudge.
Wait, but what's on either side? Are those supposed to be S's in each direction, or like a 2 and an S?
It's like his.
They are.
Those are S's.
No, he's celebrating. That was his mask from New Year's Eve 2002.
Good goof.
And he's saying, dump the poison in the ocean. So,
God, 2002 sucked.
No, it didn't. That year ruled.
Yeah,
Did
Attack
it?
of the Clones came out that year.
Did it?
Zach, come on. You were like 15. You had no
That's
measurement
true.
of what a good year was yet.
Well, there you go. That's our Sanji. Who is still left?
The
at
Iraq
this
War
point?
started in 2002, by the way, Steve. Or 03? One of those.
Well, we still have to do Robin, Frankie, and Brook, right? And
Mhm.
Jinbei.
Yeah.
Those are the
Jinbei.
ones left.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although
Brooke,
Jinbei,
I cannot wait for Brooks.
Oh boy.
Would it even look any different?
That's the challenge.
that might be
That's
the
the
gag.
joke.
Yeah.
So our next question here is here we go. We get some character background information. This one says in chapter 962, Daimyo and Vassals, we see a young Izo and Kiku, where Izo is carrying a katana and Kiku is holding a gun. And that's the tiny little panel. I think we talked about it with little tiny Kiku with her just little dot eyes,
Very cute.
holding a pistol.
Well,
And
that part's not cute.
yeah, it's like, well, that's the opposite from the present day, because of course Izo uses a gun and Kiku is the samurai with the sword. What was the reason behind this? And so Oda says, first of all, Kiku was just holding the gun because it was Izo's. and Izo needed his hand free, I guess, or something. And so he's like, wow, that was a real small detail to pick up from that tiny panel. And he goes on to explain that so the two of them, they fell into disrepute because their father was a criminal, and so they went through their childhood basically being manipulated and abused by cruel adults, and so they had to rely on each other to survive. And one of the tricks, they were basically entertainers. Like, you remember their family was like a dance troupe, and so they had to entertain people to make a living. And one of those entertainments was sharpshooting, shooting targets. And Izo was a master at it. He would hit every target, but he was never very confident in his sword skills. And so later on, when they found themselves on Whitebeard's ship, Izo was basically kind of entertaining the crew by doing some demonstrations of shooting targets. And that is when Vista the flower sword, or I'll have to look up what his epithet is in English.
Floral blade.
What's that?
Floral blade.
Floral blade. Oh, okay. I'll double check that. And he says, hey, use what you're good at to protect your boss, to protect your leader. So in other words, if you're a samurai who is sworn to protect your liege, why would you be fixated on the katana if you're no good at it? Because the samurai is really more of a way of life. So from that point onward, Izo gave up on the sword and he only used his guns. So there you go. And lastly, we have one more SBS segment, and this is kind of interesting because the top image came from a reader in America, and actually this kind of made the rounds on Twitter, where the person's name is Rashad, but I guess they must have handwritten it on the letter, because in the volume it is typed Rosnod. And so they were sort of joking about it, like, oh, I got
Don Quixote, Rosnod.
yeah.
They were what it might be? They might have mixed up. Well, I don't know about the O, but with the N, the H, like the
right. The bar wasn't like tall enough or something. So I actually I saw that they followed me, and so I was just like, hey, do you want me to fix that for you? And they're like, yes, please. So it will be correct in the English version.
That's really cool of you, Steven.
But well, I wouldn't have known unless I hadn't seen it on Twitter, because people like to retweet when the volumes come out and everybody puts up their art that got selected.
Well, this is a really good. This is a really funny one too. I like.
Yeah,
this.
It's the scene where Luffy and Yamato are poking their heads through the floorboards to look downward, but Kaido is joining them. So
He's like, "Hey, boys, what you looking at?"
SBS.
Nothing, just my jazz. Cue the Scooby-Doo chase through Onigashima.
And
I want to see that.
Yeah, and this was also a very good question here, which was, and this comes from our Twitter friend 420 Land, who said, if Zoro, Nami, Usopp, Sanji, and Frankie had devil fruit powers, which fruits would they eat?
Oh.
And
I did notice that on Twitter. He said also that if Jinbei had joined the crew, he would have definitely put him down at the time of that writing.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
Well, we get the other Straw Hats nonetheless, and so Oda says, "Oh, that's an interesting question. Well, this is what I would want to see." And so these are all existing fruits. He didn't make them up, and then he gives his little commentary on each one. So Zoro, he said, would have the very timely the fish fruit legendary model Blue Dragon.
So is that the first time that's been written out? Yeah,
the Blue Dragon part. Actually, I'm just thinking back on this now, and I'm like, did the fish fruit name appear in these chapters, or is that going to be in the next volume?
I think that's in the next.
That's what I was
volume.
thinking. Is like he mentioned Jinbei, but yet he has this.
Yeah, it's might be a little bit of a slip up if you want to call it that from Onoda's part, but it's a cool answer nonetheless. And he says, not so much for Zoro, but I want to, what if one of his katanas became the sword?
Ooh.
That would be really cool.
Amazing.
Yeah. And
Wait.
You said one of the katanas
Wait.
became the sword, but I'm assuming you mean
oh,
one of the
me
katanas
became the dragon.
became
Sorry.
the dragon.
Became the
Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay. So, oh yeah, that is his own. Yeah.
So wait.
Interesting.
So it's possible, though unlikely, that Zoro kills Kaido and then takes his fruit and shoves it into his sword. And I imagine again, like with his hand, like shoving it into get in there, eat the fruit, and then it becomes a dragon. That's how that works, right?
The and the blue dragon, like the mythical thing too. That is the cardinal, like a directional beast. There's 4 of them in Chinese mythology. The blue dragon, the red phoenix, the white tiger, and the black tortoise, I think.
So what is Momo? He's a pink dragon, right? That's like
Yes.
yes. he's just a dragon. And the next one is Nami with the oh gosh, what was the English version of this? It's the Goro fruit, the lightning fruit.
Rumble fruit.
Rumble. It was Rumble. Okay, I couldn't remember what Whitebeard's was then.
It's not that people fear Nami. People's fear is Nami.
I think Whitebeard's is Tremor.
Tremor. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I was gonna say Quake, but yeah, you're probably right.
And Oda says, yeah, I think what if this would be the most powerful weather girl you've ever seen? She's unstoppable to everyone except for Luffy. Which probably wouldn't matter because as we also know from the SBS, Nami can slap Luffy silly because that's just her power.
God, she'd be unstoppable.
Yes. The next one is Usopp with the pocket fruit that creates unlimited pockets all over your body. I don't remember where this guy
He's from the Paramount War. He
oh yes,
had the hammer. He took hammers.
Flamenco? Is that his name?
Is it one of the
maybe a Whitebeard captain?
Captains or one of the allies? Maybe.
I think that's Whitebeard's symbol or one
he's
of
one
his
of the division
symbols on his
commanders.
True.
That's Flamenco.
I'll look it up. Yeah,
Okay.
that sounds right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So apparently that's
First time we're hearing about that.
that's a power. It's not a
The fruit, I mean.
weird decoration or tattoo. So he says this would be perfect for Usopp, who loves keeping gadgets around to be handy.
By the way, Flamenco is correct and is the commander of the 6th Division. And he also has some weird sort of like bear skeleton on his tummy.
Interesting.
He ate a bear.
Born February 5th. So just past his birthday a couple weeks ago. Anyway, go ahead.
Next, we have Sanji, who would have the swim fruit from Senor Pink. And Oda says he can pass through walls and also swim underneath the ground. This would be a very dangerous power in Sanji's hands.
Let's be honest here. Almost all powers are dangerous in Sanji's hands.
It's pretty funny though, since he wanted Absalom's in the first place.
Yeah, he wanted the clear fruit, so this will be the next best thing for Sanji, basically.
Fair enough.
Worst thing for everyone else.
Yes.
Yes. And lastly, we have Frankie with the arms fruit from Baby
Absolutely.
5. And he says, yep, Frankie you could not possibly get a better power for Frankie.
Just watch that fight between them. He was enjoying that, Frankie.
By the way, that would be a great what if illustration in a future One Piece magazine. I would definitely like that. Frankie with that devil fruit.
I do think that. Earlier, Zach, when you said quake fruit, it made me think like, oh man, what if Whitebeard ate the Quaker fruit? And
delicious Whitebeard oatmeal.
It's on the box of every
oatmeal. I think they have
the box of every container of oatmeal.
Yeah, I think wasn't Nixon a Quaker?
What? Okay.
Yes.
I don't know.
He was not a crook.
He was.
He was drunk.
He's not a quake.
Jesus Christ.
Almost done here. the next question is about this this guy here in the picture who is Sukiyaki's retainer guy. It's the one with the light colored hair, and he has kind of like sunglasses or shaded glasses on. And it says, so the vassal who is tasting Momonosuke's food for poison in chapter 971, is he also the same guy who is reporting all of Oden's wicked deeds to Sukiyaki in chapter 960? Gosh, it's like he's been serving the Kozuki clan for generations. When I noticed it, I got a little teary. And Oda says, yep, that's right. His name is Banzaburo. And he was taken in by Sukiyaki when he was very young. And as a samurai, he feels a great debt to Sukiyaki for his patronage.
I gotta say, that character showed up in the anime, of course, recently.
Yeah.
I never read that he was totally an Oden fanboy till the anime, because the further he went on reading all those rumors about Oden, he got more and more excited by them.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I don't think that came across necessarily in the manga, but if that's what the actor did, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it felt very mundane, but in this one, he was just fanboying as it progressed.
I think part of that might be I feel like the anime staff is fanboying over Oden as well. Like, there's like definitely, a level of excitement you feel in it. Like, ooh, it's Oden.
I think it helps just knowing that like the character is sold very hard even before you see him. Was like, this is like the greatest hero. He's super awesome. Everybody loves him. And, you only have so many chapters and so many scenes to make that count for Oden. And so if they can help boost that feeling you get from it in the anime, it helps his character, I think. Last question on SBS. The question is leave or life? And Oda's like, oh my God, that's terrifying. Well, I'm not going to give you my lifespan, so I choose leave. I'm leaving. Goodbye. This is the end of the SBS. See you next volume.
Good font there. I like
yeah, and he scampers off. There.
So yeah, that any other notes about the volume, Stephen, that you wanted to?
No particular notes about anything else, except that I really like the one illustration in the Usopp Gallery that is Shinobu as the Mona Lisa.
Thank you. I was going to mention that if you did.
Oh my God, it's so good. So good.
What's the pen name for this person? And do they have a Twitter account?
They're from Saitama. It looks like maybe I can't be sure how this kanji is read because it's one of those that probably has multiple readings, but it looks like Nishiyama, like Takeru or something is the name maybe. It's not an online name, I would say. So, unfortunately,
I love it.
Hey, well, it's one of the funniest ones I've seen in a while.
Yes,
that one's great. Yeah. So yeah, if you haven't, please check out Volume 98. It is available wherever you get your Japanese books, and it was just announced. I think that this is coming out at the end of the year in English.
They put it in the schedule somewhere?
I think they did. I will double check because I saw that. I'm like, oh, that's faster than I thought. I don't know if they're speeding up very slightly. Yeah, it's coming out. It's on Amazon saying it's going to come out December 7th of this year.
Okay.
So look forward to Stephen better get to work. So we're going to let him do that. Let's move on to the anime recap and then do some piece together.
All right.
Sounds good.
This is the anime recap for episode 963, Oden's Determination, Whitebeard's Test. I'm your host, Sam, and today with me we have, joining us once again, we have Ed.
Hello. Yeah, this is like one of the least Toei titles in a while.
Yeah, it
describes what happens in the episode for the most part. At least the second half of the episode, not just the last 10 seconds.
Right. So this episode begins with sort of a cold open. The last episode recap sort of fluidly moves into Oden overhearing a guy telling Kanjuro about the Whitebeard pirate's ship washing up on the shore. And he just runs off. He's running through town. And the Whitebeard pirates are hanging out on the shore, and Whitebeard senses somebody coming. And then Oden appears, and they jump and they clash. Big explosion of air. And Oden says, "I've been waiting for you, pirates!" And the title card eventually begins at 5 minutes and 44 seconds. So Kinemon and the others, they appear to in an attempt to stop the fight. And Whitebeard is just like, "Oh, you little brat!" And he takes the fight on, and they clash for a good bit here. Kind of going back and forth. It looks pretty good. Good
It's
action.
it's quite lushly animated. Yeah.
Yeah. I believe most of this is anime only. Like in the manga, it's like they clash, and then that's the end of the chapter, and then the next chapter they're already like feasting.
Mm. This is sort of the space the anime gets to take, and sort of stretch things out and give us more of stuff I really wanted to see. So I was happy to see that.
And Whitebeard gets a really good, just giant earthquake punch right into Oden's face.
He flings him quite a distance, but he doesn't necessarily hurt.
Punches Oden straight into the stratosphere. If Oden really wanted to leave the island so bad, that's not a bad way to go. But he starts begging Whitebeard to join, to let him join the crew. He's on his knees. And obviously Kinemon's not having this. But the pirates and the samurai, they kind of feast and party and eat Oden. The food Oden, not the man Oden. And Whitebeard's like, "Hey, you're not the type to serve somebody else. I came from a crew with like too many selfish, big personalities who just want to take charge, and there's only enough room on the ship for one of those." So,
yeah, Whitebeard is it's so funny to see him tower over Oden when Oden is so large himself.
Right.
But him and Oden's vassals getting. They're on the same page. They don't want. They both want him to stay.
Yeah, and Kinemon is explaining. It's like, yeah, Oden's our daimyo. He's a big, important guy. It would be really terrible if he broke our law about never leaving. And so him and Whitebeard, they fist bump over that. Like, hell yeah. So the gang ties Oden up and they lock him in his bedroom, basically. And that brings us to the eye catch of the episode. And we come back, and we're in the middle of a conversation between Cat Viper, Dog Storm, and Marco. And Marco's laughing at this idea that Cat and Dog think that there's only 5 islands in the world. And he's like, actually, there's more than 10 or 20 million. And
that's a lot of islands.
The animal kids are shocked to learn this. Eventually, the Moby Dick's repairs are finished. And Izo catches Oden trying to sneak out. And Oden's trying to like sneak out in his loincloth.
Like, yes, I'm definitely just going to the bathroom. This was all part of the ruse.
So the Whitebeard pirates start sailing off and they start wondering if maybe they should have brought Oden along. Marco has determined that Whitebeard has probably grown fond of the guy. But Whitebeard just kind of brushes it off as, even if I did like him, we don't want to be getting in trouble for kidnapping royalty. And they talk about leaving a bunch of treasure behind as a thanks for all the food and timber and time to get their ship fixed up. And then as they're about to leave, Oden comes running onto the shore with a big chain, and he throws it and it wraps around the mast, and now he's getting dragged to the water. And Izo follows right behind and jumps onto Oden and like holds on tight. Now they're being dragged to the water on the ship. Marco's about to just undo the chain and let them loose, but Whitebeard stops him like, "Hey, just grab the other guy. Like, let's leave Oden hanging for a bit."
So he was a phoenix from a young age, that Marco.
Yeah, he's able to just like swoop down and grab Izo and get him onto the ship. We cut away to Kiku is crying about Izo, Cat Viper, and Dogstorm all being gone. We don't see that. I don't think we see the cat and dog in this episode afterwards.
No.
Because there's like a big montage of, so I guess they're just like hanging inside the ship somewhere for 3 days. Speaking of, Whitebeard's challenge to Odin: if you can hang on to this chain for 3 days and just be dragged along by the ship, I'll let you join the crew. And so get the cool montage music playing. Odin's just getting trashed by the water. He gets eaten by a big fish, but he's like forces the fish's mouth open and he's got the chain still in his own mouth. He's getting gradually more like swollen and bruised, and Izo's like kind of scowling up at Whitebeard like, I will never forgive you for this. And eventually, just before the time is up, Odin he's so beaten up, he's so like just pale and swollen and bloated, just looks like a big weird sea monster. He lets go of the chain just as he hears this voice of a woman nearby being chased on an island. The titles indicate that this woman is Amatsuki Toki, and she's being attacked. She's being chased by some guys who just want her for some unknown reason. And Odin arrives on the shore just looking like a big bloated whale. Have you ever seen?
Well, they call him the same thing. The word they use, I think, is the same as what is used for Wadatsumi, like umeboshi.
Oh, the subtitles just said sea spirit.
Yeah, I mean that's what it means, but like that's also what people called, I think, Wadatsumi.
Okay. And Odin, just like looking like a big monster. It's like, let that girl go, and like just a fish just like accidentally, just like, just like unlodges itself from Odin's mouth and like hits a guy in the face, and that's what prompts the guys to run off in fear. And Odin is asking the woman if she's okay. Are you all right? And then he passes out because he is definitely not okay. To be continued.
Yep. Good episode. I mean, it's all nothing to complain about with the with art wise, and the animation was good the entire way through. The fight at the beginning was particularly good. Sets up a good ending. And I mean, the whole thing is sort of it's very on point for the art style. So I really enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed these these character interactions. So yeah, it's a good episode. I was in a good mood the entire time.
Yeah, good episode. Whitebeard versus Odin was definitely a standout. They're kind of they're pacing the story out a little more, but it still feels like there's enough going on each week, and I like how like you can end an episode on this scene here where it's Odin and Toki meeting for the first time, and we don't even we know they'll eventually get married, so that there's kind of it feels fated, this cliffhanger, even though it's like in the manga, it's like this is immediately after Whitebeard shows up, and so yeah, I feel like there's I feel like the anime is doing a good job of sort of continuing to capture the real kind of spirit of the Odin flashback.
Yep, they're going at a good pace without feeling too stretched out, but they're sort of filling in the gaps, the gaps that I wanted to see, because there's not much of an opportunity to see these characters, so our time is limited.
All right, any other thoughts you have before we move on to the next segment?
We get Roger next week.
Get Roger.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
All right, I think we can move on then.
Okie dokie.
All right, thank you, Ed.
This is the Piece Together segment where we take your questions, comments, theories, and don our 2002 New Year's glasses, whatever. I don't know what you all wore in 2002. It was a very crazy time. I forgot what's happening, but what's the first segment of Piece Together, Ed? What's it called?
Dis-piece.
Joe, our Discord moderator, will take us through our Dis-piece questions this week.
All right, the first one comes from Big J of Today, and they say, "Love the podcast. It's so nice to listen to you and your crew each week. I have not found a talk radio-esque media that I really got into since going very much out of Opie and Anthony, Sam Rogers, etc. I really love all the Patreon stuff. In regards to the last Forced to Watch 4 Kids, Alex mentioned the edit of the Hospital Red Cross in this and other media. The reason is likely because the Red Cross organization is very protective of that image and will not hesitate to sue.
Wow, maybe.
Also, Steve was correct, and the name is the Big J of Today.
There you go.
As opposed to whatever the hell Sam said last week.
I think
Big
it's cool
Choff.
that we've been compared to a big time radio show like Opie and Anthony.
Yeah, I prefer to not be compared to Opie and Anthony, but I mean, they were very successful, so.
As long as we're not compared to Rush Limbaugh,
Yeah.
Rest in Hell, Burn in Pieces, then I'm cool.
He just shouldn't be able to rest. Oh.
I mean,
My
when I
question is
say
about the budget.
when I say rest, I mean that as like an acronym for rot, endlessly on a spit that is turning.
Got it. Look, I don't want to imagine Rush Limbaugh at all. Nonetheless, on a spit, so I'm good.
So much talking about Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah, this is the most we ever have and ever will. So there you go.
In,
like Birch Barlow, that's what I meant.
In regards to the Red Cross thing too, I think it's also worth noting that this is also from the same company that changed his name from Zorro to Zolo presumably out of concern that Disney would sue them for Zorro the Masked Swordsman. So I guess it would fit that pattern. If that is the case.
Like, it's such a minor character and a tiny cross.
Yeah.
Just imagine it's like, see any red crosses on children's television today? No, sir, not today. Thought we almost had one with this doctor with the black bandana, but
Well, it's interesting.
Escaped our clutches.
Like, I got into a little discussion about it on Discord, but it's interesting that like Nurse Joy's hat was not edited in Pokemon, but the doctor in One Piece was.
There was cigarettes were left in early episodes of Pokemon.
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, probably. I don't remember.
It's the Execute episode.
Oh, I think I vaguely remember that. Yeah.
There you go.
All right, the next one comes from Brady Smiles, saying, "Why do people keep sending perverted questions to the SBS? Don't they know One Piece is a manga for young boys, and that kind of content is not appropriate for the SBS, and Oda is just encouraging them by answering them? Don't they know they are supposed to send those kinds of questions to you guys because you're an explicit rated podcast on this podcast app? So anyway, can I sniff the chair Nami sat on?"
We're
I will never get tired of
explicit?
these.
I thought we just weren't rated. We're like not rated.
Yeah, unrated. That's
Unrated.
the good stuff.
Oh
Like all those all those American Pie sequels.
God. Oh, I'm leaving.
We're the Zack Snyder cut of podcasts.
It's the Zach Logan cut. Okay.
You can't hear it audibly, but we're all in gray tone. And in 4x3.
God,
And
I would
4
much
long.
rather watch the Zach Logan cut of Justice
Justice
League.
Justice League.
I'm on it.
There'd be
Alex.
so many spreadsheets like, oh, this is all the damage that this battle is causing to the city, and it's just Excel spreadsheet after Excel spreadsheet.
No,
Jack's just sitting at like an editing desk going, I don't know what I'm doing.
no, it would be me calling Jose, being like, "Can you help me with this? I don't know what's happening."
Jose would be like, "Who are you people?"
What's next, Joe?
That's basically it. The only other thing is just Super Nintendo Chalmers commenting that the disc piece is turning into a preferred sex channel. So.
But it was a Simpsons reference so gradually that he didn't even notice. So that's it for Disc Piece, Ed. It's time for
Email. Hey,
So,
Zach.
hi, it's nice to be back. How's it going, Strong Bad? Okay, I guess he's not keeping. Keep going. Keep going.
Doing
Don't let me-
okay. How do you answer emails with those boxing gloves on your hands?
Hey Ed, I just got back from a dodgeball tournament.
This shtick is getting longer and longer every time.
That's exactly what Lando said in Empire Strikes Back.
Worsamy has a question. I think this is the only email we have. I have enjoyed the character of Yamato so far. He has been a cool character during these 20 chapters since his introduction in chapter 984. But the thing that has been so off-putting for me about him is how so many people are wishing for him to join the crew. I know that he is popular as shown by his ranking currently, but with only being in the story for such little time, it just feels like everyone has fallen for him like crazy. I don't really see this reaction to Jinbei, the newest member of the crew, when he was joining. So my question to you, which is his question to us, is would you want Yamato to join the crew? And if so, why? Maybe that will help my understanding for this push for him to join the crew better. Thank you for reading this email and have a great week.
I think for
Have I ever... Go ahead, Alex.
sorry. I think for poetic rhyming purposes, I think it would be cool if Yamato joined the crew like Odin did with Roger's crew. But I honestly, aside from the fact that Yamato wants to be Odin, I don't really see any reason for him to join the crew.
I know, Steven, we talked a lot about this when he initially entered the story, which, believe it or not, I think was a little less than a year ago at this point, at least.
Definitely less.
Yeah, but it's not as much less as you think it is.
They said 20 chapters, so
Yeah. So yeah, that's probably like 8 months or
8
something.
months or something. Yeah.
So I mean, Steven, has your opinion changed? Because I think you agreed with this person that he kind of came out of nowhere, and not that there was anything bad about the character, but that he just kind of came out of nowhere.
It was a very late and kind of sudden story development, which in retrospect, I feel like Oda kept it under wraps because it would just complicate the big picture at the time. Like, all the pre-Onigashima stuff, like it would insert a huge and glaring like blank variable at times when like Oda's trying to tell a very specific story that would have clashed with it. But yeah, it was a very sudden introduction. I think part of it is that, like, yes, people always are, going on about whoever the latest cool character is who would, in their minds fit with the Straw Hats in the group. So that's no different from any other character. But I think also, like, if you look at the results of the poll, which we were talking about at the start of the show, like it really hammers home that, like, in the big picture scheme of things, like the characters who tend to be overwhelmingly popular, both in Japan and to another extent elsewhere in the world, are like characters that have attractive designs. Like Big Mom is like 84th on that list of 100, but she's a hugely impactful character. It's just that, like, you can enjoy her character, but like she doesn't have an appealing design. And Yamato has a very appealing design. It's a cool looking character, and like fits in with a lot of other of Oda's other very popular designs. And so I think that's a big part of it as well. And so it's this is the hot time for Yamato, given how long they've been around in the story and like the stuff that they've done. So
I think. Also, I don't know where Kiku ranks specifically, but like talking on the transgender Fight Together episode recently, it's definitely like a step in the right direction for Oda, given his past and given the past of the series. And I think for a lot of people, just like a very, very welcome representation in the series. Beyond that, I think that he also represents, I think, a lot of our fanboyishness about the series for the same reason I think a lot of people like Bartolomeo, a lot of people like Yamato, because they both are fans of our main characters, and therefore we like them because they're fans of what we're fans of. It's like we relate to that. They're very relatable characters, not just in how they look very good, but how Bartolomeo included, but also how they like the characters we like. So
Okiku is 48th on the overall poll.
I think that's too low.
Okay.
If we're going by good looking characters that are I don't remember
Zach,
exactly.
you're clearly misinterpreting the meaning behind hot characters.
It's easy to misinterpret, Steve. Okay, so that's going to do for emails. We don't have any Reddit this week, right, Steven?
No.
So we can't even go to the archipelago, but Ed, we can. Oh, no, we can't. We don't have any piece to tweet, do we?
We don't have any piece to tweet either. So.
What are you... Can you just give us a strong bad...
No, I'm not to give it away for free.
Okay, no, just can you round off this segment with a little strong bad then, at least? Like, I don't... Something...
Oh, he wants to play one of those trivia games now. Okay.
Let's round off. This has been episode 664, February 21st, 2021. We're going to be rounding off today with some trivia, specifically midterm result ranking trivia. We'll get to that in a moment. That'll be fun.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Your midterm grades are in, and they're all awful.
It was different kind of midterms.
Oh my god, and my pants are gone.
We'll get to that in a moment. Before we do, Alex, do you want to talk a little bit about Forced to Watch 4Kids, the newest episode of which is out now?
Yeah, Forced to Watch 4Kids is the Patreon-only podcast where me and Steve once a month will go through the 4Kids dub of One Piece. We're doing 4 episodes per podcast episode, and we have just hit the Arlong arc, and it's baffling, to say the least. Come join the fun. It certainly is a lot of fun. Us talking about it anyway, and I apparently have made Steve laugh while he's editing it. So if that's not incentive for you, if you don't like to laugh, then don't worry about signing up for the Patreon. But if you love laughing, then what are you waiting for?
What a weird way to hype that. Okay. Enjoy it. It's fun. It's a really great show. 4Kids dub, not a really great show, but Forced to Watch 4Kids, great show. I know it's confusing.
Yes, if you want to watch, and if you want to watch along with us, I'm sure you can buy the DVDs off eBay or creative Googling to find all of the episodes in one convenient format.
Creative Googling. That's Willie's time.
Okay.
Don't touch Willie. Good advice.
Yeah, so check that out. We talked about lots of stuff coming through the rest of the year with the cookbook and box set 4, so please pick those up. And also our Fight Together series returns this spring. Let's see if I could do all the episodes in my head. The first one is fascism, neurodivergence and fandom, transgender representation, a film and media with it's going to be our Toho Yaro crossover episode. So Alex will be on for that, V will be on for that, and Joey Weiser will be on for that. And we also have our global fandom, which I might do as different episodes for different regions, just because there's obviously so many people to talk to from so many parts of the world. It might be a little bit of a thing to get everyone on the same episode. So we'll see on that. Anyway, that'll all be out this spring. And again, please subscribe to us here and on the separate Fight Together feed if you haven't, so you're prepared for the arrival of season 2. But before we get into that and trivia and all that fun stuff, Joe, where can people find you?
Find me on Twitter at Joe on Vulva.
Steven.
You can follow me on Twitter at Translatosaurus.
Alex.
Follow me on Twitter at Dude Exclamation. Please also listen to Toho Yaro, the aforementioned Japanese Film Club podcast that I do with V and Joey. Our Ugetsu episode just dropped. You can find that on the Criterion channel or possibly on YouTube or Amazon somewhere, but it's definitely on the Criterion channel. So if you subscribe to that, awesome. We just recorded another Torasan episode, so look forward to that, as well as guests that you may have heard before on this very show. Also, please go to twitch.tv/superartfight every Saturday at 8 p.m. For the next, I believe, 2 weekends. I'm doing very well in the tournament, and I could definitely use the votes. Plus, it's fun.
I like fun. Steve, where could people find you?
I like stories. Check out my work at steveyurko.com and give me a follow on Twitter or Instagram at steveyurko.
Ed, where could the good people find us?
Well, you are Zach_Logan on Twitter. I am Edward E. One Piece. I'm also at Weave Trailers. Podcast can be found at onepiecepodcast.com, twitter.com, youtube.com, and facebook.com/OnePiecePodcast. OnePiecePodcast@gmail.com is our email address. You can support us. Patreon.com/OnePiecePodcast. Subscribe on Spotify, subscribe on SoundCloud, subscribe on iHeartRadio, subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts, or call us on our phone number, Zach.
That phone number is 347-497-MAJI. Maji. That phone number again, 347-497-6254. Call anytime. Anytime with your questions, comments, theories, or where I could get some fun dip, Yamato. So, this is today's trivia. Nice and simple. We're going to go through the midterm rankings, and this is how we're going to do it. I'm going to go Ed, Steve, Alex, Steve, and Joe. That'll be our order. You get to choose the region. You could also choose overall. That is up to you. I will pick a random number, and all you have to do is tell me which one of the two have the higher ranking. That's all you got to do. Okay. Yeah, first one to 5 points wins. So Ed, by the way, these are the regions. It's overall Asia, Oceania, North America, Japan, own region, Latin America and the Caribbean, Europe, Middle East, and Africa. There's no Antarctica. It's awful. I was really curious where Camel would have ranked on this, but Anyway, Ed, pick a.
I'll take North America.
North America for 500, Alex. Okay, let's pick a random number between 1 and 100. 23. So I'm going to give you character that is 23 and one above and below. And you just tell me which one is higher. Okay? Okay, so we have Don Quixote do Flamingo is number 23. Okay? Which is higher than him? Edward Newgate or Buggy?
I would go with Buggy.
No, I'm sorry. Whitebeard is higher.
Okay.
So yeah, not correct. In North America, Whitebeard is 22. Buggy is 24. Steve, you like to choose an area?
I'll take Japan.
Japan, and let's give you a random number. Your random number is 7. That's not fair. Number 7 is Don Quixote Rocinante. Which one is number 6? Is it Boa Hancock or is it Sabo?
Sabo.
Correct. Good job, Steve. Got very lucky with that number there, I will say. Okay.
Thank you for saying, you fluked.
Okay. Steve has just wanted validation from me all day. It's not gonna happen. Alex, pick an
Not that
area.
attitude. Go.
Pick a region.
Oh, a region. Let's go Europe.
Or overall is fine too. Okay, Europe.
Oh, let's do Europe. Why not? Nobody's done that yet.
Yeah, random number pick 61. 61 is Gecko Moria. Which is higher, Rob Lucci or Bartholomew Kuma? Which is number 60?
Oh, wow. Let's say Rob Lucci.
Correct.
Cool.
All right. Now, Steven, pick an area.
I'm going to go with Oceania because those guys are sickos.
They are. All right, number 74 is the number.
This
number
guy
74. Number 74 is what you got here. It's Kawamatsu. Which is higher, Senor Pink or Caesar Clown?
Oh my God, they're all terrible.
Which is higher than Kawamatsu, Senor Pink or Caesar Clown?
Should be none of them.
I'm-
Kawamatsu's an angel.
Kawamatsu is an angel.
Yes, he is. I'm going to guess it's Senior Pink.
No, it's Caesar Clown. I'm sorry, Steven. Sorry, you had a 1 in 2 chance and you failed.
I failed.
Joe, pick an area,
I
Joe.
didn't think sick enough.
Like those Oceanians.
I'll go with Latin America. Why not?
I can't wait for the version of Conan Insults Our Homeland with the One Piece podcast. We've discussed this
How
before.
many points are you playing to?
5. This is a quick game. I don't have to think about anything. Number 53 is Shushu. Which is 52? Is it Big News Morgans or Aokiji?
I would imagine it's Aokiji.
You are correct. I'm equally surprised as everyone listening. Shushu getting a good ranking there. Ed, your turn. By the way, Steve, Alex, and Joe all have a point.
I'll do Asia.
It's a short night. That's why I'm also willing to do this. Asia. Let's do 14. 14 is Don Quixote do Flamingo again. What are the chances?
Okay.
Now, which is higher? Is it Usopp or Yamato?
Yamato?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
Good job, Ed. Always pick the popular one over Usopp.
Name this continent.
You know, not all the
Steve.
Straw Hats are equally popular.
Steve, pick a region. Or overall is
What-
also fine.
What choices do I have? Or can I
So,
just still choose from any?
You could choose from any, yeah. Overall, Asia, Oceania, North America, Japan, Latin America and the Caribbean, Europe, Middle East, and Africa. Those are your choices.
I'm going to go with Japan again.
Okay, and your random number this time. Do I have to go with
one.
this? It's 2.
No, it isn't.
So I'm going to do that again.
Yeah,
Oh,
just
no.
re-roll, man.
No, this is rigged. This is rigged.
No, I did it again. You want to guess what came up?
6.
1. No, I'll do it again here.
This is fate. I'm destined to win.
No, I'm doing it again. Number 32, because it's not fair. Number 32 is Eneru. Which is higher, Rob Lucci or Brook?
Wow.
Ooh. What number is Eneru?
32. One of these is 31. One of these is 33.
Rob Lucci's higher.
No, Brook actually is higher on this
Good.
one. Yeah. Not doing well, but he's higher. Alex, pick an area. Pick a region.
Area. Let's do North America.
North America for 800, Alex. Sorry. 48 is your number. 48 is Charlotte Pudding. Which is higher, Silver Israeli or Izo?
For North America.
For North America.
Boy, I'm gonna say Rayleigh.
No, Izo is higher at 47.
Nice.
Izo was so
And-
popular.
Izo's in the
currently in the
story right
story.
now.
Yeah, I
that's
guess
how
it's one out.
that works. Steven, you're the only one without a point, so let's change
Thanks.
that. Pick a ranking. Pick a category. I mean.
Let's go with the Middle East.
The Middle East. We haven't done that yet. Generating a random number for you. 97.
Nice.
Koala is 97. We all love Koala. But is she higher than Shirahoshi or Senor Pink? Who is higher there?
Apparently, we don't like her that much. Shirahoshi or Senor Pink?
Who is the higher number? Who's 96?
I got burned last time, but let's go with Senor Pink.
You're correct, Steven.
Yes.
On the board. The board. Everyone's tied at 1 right now, but let's see if Joe could change that. Joe, pick
Are
an
we really
area.
playing till 5?
Okay, we could play to 3. We'll play to 3.
Yes.
What else
Sam's
are we doing
waiting to
tonight?
get on anime. Sam's waiting to record the anime recap.
Oh, okay. We'll do
See,
the
Zach
3.
always forgets about Sam.
I always do. Joe, pick an area.
Like Zach would be like, you know what? Happy hour. We're all going out for drinks after the episode. Come on, everybody. Yay. And then Sam's hello.
It's funny because by doing this story about how much I hate Sam, you're actually the one hurting him more. Joe, pick an area.
I'll do Asia.
Asia.
Just so you know, Zach, if you gave me the numbers that you drew for me, I would have won.
Okay, number 95 is what you got, Joe. And 95 is Magellan, but who's higher, Higuma or Makino? What characters here?
People like Higuma.
There's only one
Apparently.
choice here.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Makino.
No, it's
No.
Higuma. It's 94.
What region is this?
Asia.
Wait, what the F?
HOV
They didn't
sucks.
get past chapter 1.
We said that. We did say that.
I was
He's the
like,
most
1994?
the most memorable villain in the entire series.
Apparently.
If you've read to chapter 1,
Yeah, if you want
you'd be right.
chapter 1, yeah.
The game is tied at 1. Ed, pick a region.
South America.
South America, which I'm going to say is Latin America and the Caribbean because they're showing that's what they show on the map. Here we go. Number 8. Number 8 is Yamato. Which is higher? Is it Usopp or Nami?
I'll go with Nami.
You are correct. Good job,
All right.
Ed. Everyone gets one easy one, apparently. But Steve isn't. Steve, where do you want to go?
Wonder if this is rigged.
I love you,
I am
Steve,
going to
so-
say North America.
North America. Steve, 53 is your number. 53 is Vinsmoke Niji. Who is higher, Zeph or Ulti? Who's higher than Vinsmoke Niji? Who could possibly be more popular than Vinsmoke Niji? Zeph, you said? No, it's Ulti.
Man.
Is it rigged? Is it rigged?
Sorry, Sam.
Alex.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, what is it? Give me overall.
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 Generating a number 72. 72 is Pauly. Who is above Pauly? Is it Killer or Senor Pink?
Got so much senior pink.
Adrian.
Yeah, it's
God.
just coincidentally though, because it's random numbers.
Killer.
Correct. Alex and Ed now have 2. Everyone else has 1. Steven, pick an area.
I'll go with Japan this time.
Japan. Number 12, Marco. Who's higher? Is it Crocodile or Nami?
Ooh. Oh man. I think it's Nami.
Correct.
Oh.
Steven tied for the lead with 2 other people. Joe, pick an area.
I also want overall.
Overall, generating a number is 27 is Whoop Slap. Who's higher? Who's higher than Whoop Slap on overall? Number 27. Is it Dracula Mihawk or Eustace Kid?
Or is it the voters?
The voters
Sorry,
are definitely
it sounded like you said Jackie O. Mihawk.
You all know Jackie O. Mihawk.
I just want to see him show up at Baratier in the pink beret.
Yeah. Pretty good.
Joe. So who's higher than Whoop Slap?
I'm
Mihawk or Kid?
gonna guess Kid because he's in the story right now.
Very good guess, and it's correct.
Whoa.
So everyone is tied at 2 except for Steve. Wonder how that happened. Ed.
Oh yeah, because Zach was like, "Oh, Steve will get this one right." We don't want that.
Okay. It was number 2, so that's not fair.
Hey, you deal the hand you're dealt.
What does that even mean? Ed, pick an area.
Okay, I'll go with Japan.
Keep in mind, so I know you guys don't want to hear this, but everyone has to get a chance to actually answer this one. So if it's 3, I can't just give it to Ed because he's first. That's not fair. Japan, 30. Number 30 is Aokiji. Who is higher, Whitebeard or Brook?
Whitebeard.
That's correct. And I'll add another little fun bit of trivia. The last one you guys did was Eneru, who was higher, Brook or Rob Lucci. So you've gone through 29 through 33 there.
Yeah.
Ed, it's 3 points.
Makes
Who's
him the winner.
next?
Oh, everyone has to. Yeah.
That means, everyone has a chance. Steve, do you want to pick a region? Overall, and your number is 30. Really? 31. 31 is Going Merry. Who is higher, Smoker or Frankie?
Frankie.
Correct. Steve's on the board.
Well,
all right.
We all know why I know that.
Alex, pick an
already
area.
mentioned it in the show once.
Yeah.
Overall.
Overall, your number is 23. Brook.
Okay.
Who's higher than Brook? Perona or Oden?
Overall, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Corona.
No, Oden.
Wow.
Steven.
I'm gonna try Africa.
Africa. Your number is 81.
All right.
81 is Cat Viper, aka Nekomamushi. Who is higher, King or Beppo?
King or Beppo? In my heart, it's Beppo.
And you're right. Your heart is
Yes.
correct as usual. Steven is tied with Ed for 3 with a chance for the steal. Joe, pick an area.
Let's go with Europe.
Europe. And your number is 65. In Europe is Gaimon. Who's higher, Vinsmoke Ichiji or 1000 Sunny?
Oh, probably 1000 Sunny.
Correct.
Yeah.
So that means we have 3 people with 3 points each. Let's break this tie. Lightning round. Where we do the same thing. Ed, pick an area.
I'll go Africa again.
Africa again. Let's break this tie. 29 is yours. Crocodiles, number 29. Who's higher, Goldie Roger or Monkey D. Garp?
Jeez.
Garp.
Incorrect.
Oh.
It's
The
Roger.
flashback.
Steven, pick an area.
I will go with Latin America and Caribbean.
There you go. Number 87. You always get them at the bottom. Oh, here we go. This is a good one. Belmere is number 87. Good choice. But who's higher? Is it Bocce or Curly Dadon?
Oh my god.
The moms.
So Bocce's the fly, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Correct.
In
Full
the
body
soup.
soup.
Yep.
I mean, those votes
Not
had to
the
come
turtle.
from somewhere, so I'm guessing it was Bocce.
You are correct. Steven
boy.
is winning. Joe is the only one who has a chance.
I believe that means I'm
so-
out. Yeah.
Yeah, Ed is officially out. So Joe, pick one.
Let's go with North America.
North America. Now, this is for the tie. Number 73 in North America is Baby 5. But who is more popular than Baby 5? Is it Vinsmoke Yonji or Gecko Moria? Incidentally, these are both the worst.
I'm gonna go with Yonji.
I'm sorry, the correct
No.
answer for some reason was Gecko Moria.
Huh.
Even though both objectively suck.
They suck, but like I
Um,
know Yonji has fans at
Zach-
least.
Zach is like pulling like a Gyatz in this. Where you're supposed to be unbiased.
It's not
So
possible.
our winner from behind, Steven, wins today's trivia and gets
Hey.
one taiyaki delivered in the mail by regular mail. Hope you enjoy that. We'll be back
You just
next.
put it, are you going to put it like in an envelope?
Yes, regular envelope.
Here's your continental breakfast.
Thank you, Ed.
That's exactly
There's
what
another
it is.
one for your Chalmers.
So there you go. We'll be back next week with our manga recap of chapter 1005, I believe is what we're up to. Until then, remember, Calicoach is only rated number 75 in North America, so please keep voting, Kelly, and everyone
74
else.
in our hearts.
Also, High Speed Fox from Dressrosa only at 67. What's going on if Yonji could beat them? Actually, Yonji's losing to both of them. Anyway, that's going to do it. We'll see you next week, everyone. My name is Zach.
My name is Ed.
My name is Steve.
My name is Alex.
And the Kung Fu Dugong's only at 84. We'll see you next week, everyone. Goodbye.
Goodbye.